All right, so today we're tackling a story that's, well, it's way more than just superheroes punching villains. This is a deep dive into a metaphysical drama that takes classic literature, hardcore philosophy, and the gods of the DC universe and smashes them all together to decide the very soul of humanity. And wow, this one line from the demon Mephistopheles, it just perfectly captures the story's dark, twisted heart. It really sets the stage for a conflict that is incredibly philosophical, cynical, and cosmic in scale. So, to really get our heads around this thing, we're going to break it down into 5 key parts. We'll start with its literary roots and just follow that thread all the way to its insane apocalyptic conclusion. First up, what actually happens when a superhero story stops being just about saving the world and starts asking, what is the future of humanity even supposed to be? What we're looking at here is a seriously ambitious idea. The story weaves together these worlds that you'd think have nothing to do with each other. Classic literature, German philosophy, and comic book lore. And it builds them into this one coherent and frankly terrifying vision. So you've got these 3 pillars holding the whole thing up. A classic literary bargain, a really controversial philosophy, and a modern comic book pantheon of gods and devils. Let's dig into that first pillar, the Faustian bargain. You see, this story doesn't kick off with a fight in Metropolis or Gotham. No, it starts way, way higher up, in the celestial realms of the DC Pantheon, with a cosmic bet over a single human soul. So, right away, you know this isn't just another superhero brawl. It's a high-stakes theological drama, and it all revolves around this one guy's endless, ceaseless striving. On one side of this cosmic bet, you've got the Lord, who basically argues that human ambition, even when it gets messy and confused, is still fundamentally aimed toward goodness. But on the other side, you have Mephistopheles, and he sees that exact same striving not as a strength, but as a fatal flaw, one that he can exploit. He's betting he can corrupt this soul completely. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting. This ancient demonic bargain, it's not happening in a vacuum. It's a direct challenge, a provocation, aimed right at the biggest tyrant in the DC universe, the Lord of Apocalypse himself, Darkseid. And this table just lays out the core conflict perfectly. On one hand, you have Darkseid. He demands absolute, total submission through his anti-life equation, a weapon that literally erases free will. Then you've got Mephistopheles, who wants the complete opposite. He wants damnation that's chosen, damnation achieved through free will and temptation. It's a philosophical war between 2 totally different ways of controlling the cosmos. Okay, so the cosmic stage is set. The demonic force Mephistopheles has his bet. Now, he needs a weapon. But not one made of fire and brimstone. He needs a weapon made of ideas. So first, Mephistopheles grabs his concept from the philosopher Nietzsche called the last man. Basically, it's a person who has traded any chance at greatness for just pure, simple comfort. No risks, no struggle, just ease. And then he weaponizes this idea. He argues that superheroes, by constantly protecting humanity from every little struggle, are actually preventing us from reaching our true potential. He sees them as a kind of cosmic safety net that's just keeping humanity soft and weak. So the villain's twisted goal becomes clear. He wants to force humanity to shed all that weakness and evolve into Nietzsche's Übermensch, or Overman, a being so powerful it creates its own morality from scratch. And this is the really crucial point. This whole thing isn't about simple conquest. It's about triggering a forced, violent evolution for all of humankind. And he's justifying it all with this twisted, philosophical mission. So what happens when you combine that demonic pilot and his philosophical code with some of the most terrifying technology in the DC universe? Let's find out. You get this thing, a Mazoth. It's an unholy fusion of 3 distinct parts. You've got the body, a techno-organic virus that can copy any superpower. You've got the soul, a demonic intelligence driving it. And you've got the mission, to save humanity by utterly breaking it. And its method of attack is pure temptation. It uses the Amazo virus to grant people godlike abilities, basically turning the entire apocalypse into a devil's deal on a global scale. It's posing a simple question to humanity. Why beg for salvation from your gods when you can just become them? So all these pieces, the cosmic wager, the twisted philosophy, the God machine, they all come crashing together in a final conflict that is less of a physical brawl and more of an ideological nightmare. And this is where the story shifts from a simple good versus evil fight to a brutal war over two completely different definitions of what salvation even means. This is the story's central dilemma, laid bare. Is humanity better off with the Justice League's compassion and protection, what Amazov calls a prison of comfort? Or does our true potential only get unlocked through the villain's brutal evolutionary fire? So at the end of the day, the ultimate takeaway isn't about who wins the final battle. It's about which vision for our future is right. Is our potential truly unlocked by being protected or by being thrown into the fire? It's a question with no easy answer, and it leaves you wondering about the true and maybe terrible price of becoming more than human.